Hello, everyone. Great to see so many of you here. And it just goes to show how important freedom is to all of us. So let's take a minute now to know what freedom means to each one. Let's all close our eyes. We can all close our eyes for a moment and let's connect within and be present here. We'll do that. And as we are present to ourselves in this moment, let's just check within. What does freedom mean to me? What would make me feel free? Okay, so we can come back. And just for a couple of minutes, let's share just one word or one sentence about what freedom means to you. So you can either unmute and share, or you can do it on chat, in the chat box.
Freedom from psychological thinking.
Yeah, psychological thinking, yes.
Peace, ability to be myself.
Peace, ability to be yourself. Great. Live in the present moment. Be myself.
Equanimity.
Be equanimity.
To be able to trust.
Trust.
Live and let
Free
live.
from thoughts.
Free from thoughts.
Cooking whatever I like.
Cooking whatever you like.
Live whatever you like living, and
Flying in
learn
the
from
sky
your negative experiences
like a
and
bird.
positive and whatever you feel like learning. Then you come to what's this wrong in your life, what
One
is
line,
right,
one line.
you should learn.
Just one word or one line. Yeah.
Flying in the sky like a bird.
Yeah.
Be in the flow.
Yeah.
Freeing from limiting beliefs.
Happiness.
Yeah. Happiness. Yeah.
Togetherness.
Not answerable to anyone. Sorry.
Right. Hmm.
Togetherness.
To be me as it is.
Freedom to be with the flow.
Great.
Relaxation.
Right. So many different things, everything for each one, responsibility with grace. Yeah. So for each one, it means a different thing. But it's all about the same thing again, for us to just have that feeling of we can, we have what we want, we can do what we want, freedom of whatever it is. And this is something that's, it's just a basic, I won't even call it a right, it's just a basic way of being, to be able to be free. To exercise our freedom, what do we need? We need to own our life and take the responsibility that comes with ownership. That is the part that's most important. And it may sound paradoxical to put freedom and responsibility together, because most times we think responsibility ties us down, we feel burdened by it, or sometimes we mean it, we think of blame, when we think of responsibility, it's like blaming ourselves. And also we often take ownership and responsibility as coming together. We take it for granted that the two come together, isn't it? You can nod your heads or, show a thumbs up or something. So it's kind of interactive. But the two don't come together always. Most times when we have issues, it's because one of the two is missing. Here I'm talking about ownership and responsibility. And if one is missing, it doesn't work. Because responsibility without ownership will leave us feeling disempowered. I'll give you an example. There was a woman with a health issue, and she decided to take care of her body in a holistic manner. She wanted to include different approaches apart from the conventional medical treatment. But her family insisted on only the conventional approach. So she was unable to assert ownership of her body. So she could not follow through with the line of treatment that she wanted. Even though she did actually originally start off with taking responsibility and finding out about it, even kind of got started, she couldn't continue it because there were other external forces which didn't allow her, and mainly because she did not feel ownership of her own body and her decisions. There was a young woman, she was working, she got a job in a different city, and this was something she really wanted. But her parents didn't want her to leave home and live on her own. It was marriageable age, all kinds of things, objections that they had. So she had taken the responsibility to apply, get the job, do the interview, get the job, everything. But she did not feel ownership over her life and her decisions. So she gave in to her what her parents were saying, but throughout she felt resentful and she complained all the time about her lack of freedom. So where is the peace? Where is the harmony? Where is, whatever she wanted, she was not getting. So ownership, similarly, even ownership, without responsibility, if we have only ownership, it could leave us even bankrupt. There was a man who invested in a business and he felt a lot of ownership over it because it was his business, his money, but he did not take any responsibility to make it succeed. It was going downhill, then he found people to run it, but again, he was not really involved. And although the business had the potential to do extremely well, it actually collapsed because there was no responsibility there. Okay, this is direct, it's a business thing and responsibility, ownership and bankruptcy and all that. But there was another situation where there was a man who had severe arthritis. So he took ownership of his body and his health condition, and he kept referring to it as his arthritis, his body, his arthritis. And if anybody told him anything, it was he was very strong in asserting that it was his health, his body. He knew what he had to do and not to interfere and all that. But he was actually very irresponsible. He did not take up any responsibility for his body with what he fed and how he looked after it, what he fed himself. So where he could have actually improved his health and stabilized himself and maybe even gotten better, he worsened his condition. Yeah, so either way, whether it's you're lacking in responsibility or lacking in ownership, it won't work. Both have to come together. And it need not even be these kind of big things. Even the small everyday matters. Just, to start noticing, where do I take one and not take the other? So now you can just pause and close your eyes and think of a time when you tried to take responsibility and failed because you didn't feel you had the power. You would have been lacking in ownership. So just close your eyes and find anything, any small instance, big instance, anything. Okay, now think of another time when you felt ownership, but you didn't see things through because you lacked that feeling of responsibility. Any kind of incident need not be something very significant also. You felt ownership, but you didn't feel the responsibility. And so you didn't see it through. Okay. So you can come back. And so if you think of these instances, what happens in these kind of instances? Does it make us feel good or do we feel stuck? Stuck, no? You don't feel free, you don't feel alive, powerless. We feel helpless, like we have no choice, no control over our lives. We even feel resentment, shame. We feel far from free, isn't it? So ownership and responsibility together will offer us choices. What do we have control over? We have control over what we own. We cannot have control over what we don't own. So if I want control, if I want to lead my life a certain way, I need to own it. So when we take ownership, we are empowered with responsibility also. And we can choose then how we handle our thoughts, our emotions, our decisions, our actions, all that. And when things are going well, this is easy. We can easily direct it in the direction that we want. But when something does not go as we expect or as we anticipate, then what happens? Then our thoughts will run, spiral, spin. Yeah, you have that? Any of you has that? Your thoughts go all over the place. And the energy generated by our emotions, what happens to that? It will start swirling, churning inside of us. And whether it's extreme, whether it's mild, it doesn't matter. We just get bounced around by our thoughts, by our emotions. Then we give in to overwhelm, we throw away our responsibility, and we lose our freedom. So what happens? We get tied to our thoughts, get knotted up in our emotions, and then little by little, we get owned by them, by the thoughts and emotions. We are no longer the owner of our thoughts and emotions. They become the boss, they become our owners. You have that, where you have no control over your thoughts. After half an hour, you realize, oh, I'm wandering somewhere. Yeah. So over a period of time, our way of living becomes more and more reactionary. We're not actually living in that situation. We are not responding in that situation. We just keep reacting. And these reactions are not just in how we think, feel, or act consciously. Consciously also we'll be reacting, but it's not limited to that. It becomes a predominant unconscious pattern where we don't even know we are doing it. And this pattern will keep holding us down in all those areas that we initially spoke about, all those things that you mentioned, peace, grace, all the flying free, so many different things, beautiful things that you all mentioned. We are held down prevented from having all that, including other things like our health, prosperity, career, time, every area. So what can we do? What can we do to come out of this? So we can just begin with a small step of noticing our thoughts and our emotions. So again, now we're going to just do little things here like this, and not very big processes because it's a short session and we can't do intense work because, we don't want to trigger too much and then not have a closure with it. So we'll do small things. So again, we're going to pause now so you can close your eyes and think of a time when something triggered you and you felt uneasy or unhappy. You had an unpleasant reaction. So just take a small incident, not something very intense, and become aware of the thoughts that are coming up. When you bring that situation to your mind, what are the thoughts that come up? What are the words that you're saying to yourself? What is the story or the stories that you keep repeating to yourself? It could be about another person, about yourself, whatever it is. The thoughts, the stories, the self-talk. So just notice. And as you notice those thoughts, also notice the emotions associated with it. Notice what you feel. You don't have to do anything about it right now. You're just getting aware of what's going on inside of you, in your mind, in your body. So rather than blaming others or yourself, what can we do? We can take responsibility to change how we feel. We can make a choice at this point to end the spinning, this churning. Okay, so say aloud to yourself, I choose to end the story now. Say that aloud. I choose to end the story now. Say it out aloud. And then repeat it again one more time. I choose to end the story now. So when we are saying I choose to end the story now, it's a story that you're running in your head, in your mind. All that talking that's going on in your mind. Okay, so you can open your eyes and come back. So now to choose to end the story, what do you need to do? We actually will need to bring in some forgiveness work here. Because the story will be involving someone else or yourself. Either we are angry with someone else or we are angry with ourselves. So we need some forgiveness work. So we need to be willing to forgive. Someone or some emotion here needs forgiving. And when you do forgive, you'll open yourself to that freedom that you want. However you want that freedom. You may need to forgive the other person, you may need to forgive yourself, or you may need to forgive both. So again, say aloud, I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to forgive so and so, whoever it is. Say it aloud. I'm willing to forgive so and so. We don't want to forgive and forget. We want to just say, I'm willing to forgive so and so. And as you say that, notice the feelings that come up. Notice what feelings come up. And whatever feelings come up, bring it all out in one loud sound. The sound could be like, ah, or one grunt, or one shout. Do, whatever you feel like doing. Bringing all that emotion out. Those feelings that are coming up, whatever comes up, bring it all out in one loud sound. Do that now. You can bring your body also into it. Those of you who are not doing it, do it because you're on your own, you're muted, nobody else can hear you. Just do it. You could do an you could do a grunt, you could do a shout, anything. And now notice what happens. Once you've done that, notice what happens. What are all the doubts that still come up? Maybe you're thinking, why should I forgive? Or maybe you're thinking, they don't deserve it. Or there's no justice if I let them get away with it. Or, you may be thinking, it's weak to forgive. Or maybe they'll walk all over me if I forgive them. Or even, what's the point of forgiving? It's already done. Or what's the point of forgiving? It's going to happen again. exactly what will, if they do it again, what will happen? And all these are valid questions we have, and they each have a very clear answer. And the answer is kind of same for everything. It is that we are forgiving for us to be free. It is not for their sake. It is for our sake. We are forgiving so that we can have peace, we can have joy, love, good health, whatever kind of freedom we are looking for. The other person has already hurt us and they are continuing to live their lives. They might even be quite happy. Who is the one who's struggling? Who is the one who's suffering? We are imprisoning ourselves with our unforgiveness. And we need to let that go to enjoy the freedom that we deserve. Yeah? We can claim justice by no longer remaining a victim. When we release ourselves from that victimhood, we become so liberated, we'll find nice, big, giant doors opening up in front of us. Even walls that we have built over years begin to break down when we renounce that kingdom of victimhood. We get into that victimhood space and we make it into a huge empire, and when we let go of that, when we renounce that, we'll then realize what a big life we have around us. And then no one can push us into that role again once we move out and experience life outside that kingdom. So, would you like to do another exercise now where you will close your eyes again? Okay, so close your eyes and see that victimized part of you strong inside. Allow that victim part to throw whatever tantrum it wants. And as it throws its tantrum, you now tell the victim that its role, this particular role that it's been carrying on with, is over. You say to it, this role that you've been using is done with, it's over. This behavior is no longer working for me. And if it's not willing to listen, you become the warrior and battle with this victim part. You're not the warrior who's choosing to fight for this kingdom. You're the warrior who's fighting to exit this kingdom. So when you're doing this, you can even stand up. You can stomp your feet, make sounds, and act it out in any way that suits you. So you can stand up and do that. You can stomp your feet, okay. And if you find it difficult to stand, and if you're sitting, then you can still use your body, bring your body into it. So, stamp your feet, stomp your feet, make sounds, make all those sounds. And as the warrior now, feel yourself overthrowing that victim. You can do it now in action. Overthrow that victim part of you. You're slaying that victim. Some of you may feel it's violent, but with the victim, if you try to talk to the victim, you'll only get sucked into that whole manipulation. So you don't want that. And if you don't want to be a warrior and you prefer to let the victimhood simply evaporate, you can do that. You can do it whichever way works for you. You can let it go in any way that seems right for you. You can even blow the victimhood out of your body through your breath. Like that. You can even do all these different things so that you're using different ways. Allowing that victimhood to just evaporate. Feel it just evaporating from your body. Feel yourself blowing it out through your breath. Allow it to get released into a flame of love. Let it get washed away. Different ways that you want to do it. If there's any attachment that's there, notice the cord that's attaching you to that victim part. And allow those cords to just drop off, releasing that unhealthy attachment. You could also tell the part of you that keeps that victim alive that it's not required anymore, that you found a new way of living. Do that now. That part of me that keeps this victim alive, it is not required anymore. I found a new way of living. And then when that's done, notice where you are. Are you still inside that kingdom of victimhood? What seemed like a kingdom? If you look now, you can see that it's a small hole. You were living inside a small dark hole as a victim. Are you still choosing to be inside that hole? Or are you coming out of that hole to actually experience the whole kingdom that's all around you? This wide, huge, expansive kingdom that is all around you, in which you are alive, in which you are free, where you're not stuck in that small victim hole. Instead, you have the freedom to explore the whole kingdom. Notice what's happening inside of you now. And without being caught inside that victim's hole, you can say to yourself, I am now willing to let go and forgive so-and-so for my own freedom. Say that a couple of times. I am now willing to let go and forgive so-and-so for my own freedom. And when you say it this time, notice if it's any different. Is it a little different from before? Is it quite different from before? How do you feel now when you're thinking of forgiving? Is it more, are you able to welcome it more easily? You can nod your head if it is yes. Yeah. Even a small difference is a difference. It may be small, it may be big, but any change is worth it. And now check inside and notice your thoughts. If there are still some thoughts which are not working for you regarding whatever you took up now, if there are thoughts that are not working, you can say, stop. Just say that. If you find any thoughts, just say stop. Say stop to those thoughts and then ask yourself, do I want to continue this? What do I really want? What is the action step that I can actually take here? And the action step that we can actually take if the thoughts continue is to again do a few sounds and have some movement, let it go, and then see how willing you are to forgive after that. You can do that now if you want to. You can make some, if there's still some stuff that's there, make a sound, make some movement, and express that willingness now to let it all go. And once you've done that, you can see again how you feel. Are you feeling more forgiving now? And with that feeling of forgiveness, notice the expansion that is available for you. And you're going to do a small exercise where you'll open your eyes and you make a peephole with your hand, a small peephole like this. You're making a peephole and you're peeping through one eye. And just notice with that one eye, notice whatever you see. Notice how that relates to your detailed thoughts. So when you peep through the hole, you are able to see some detail around you. And now think of some detail that you were telling yourself before, which may not be what you're telling yourself now after the exercises, but you're just looking at those thoughts that kept you stuck. So, you just look at one thing and this was the thought. Now look at another area of the room. That was the thought. Another area of the room and this was another thought. All those details which kept you stuck. And as you move from one place to another with that detailed thought, notice how that kept you stuck as a victim. And now as you look at different areas, different thoughts, you realize that this is the whole of victimhood. And you don't need to remain in this hole. You don't need to remain in that hole. So now you slowly start expanding that hole, make it bigger. You allow the hole to get a little larger and then bigger and bigger, opening it out more and more. So that hole is getting bigger and bigger. The hand is widening. So it opens out more and more so that you can start seeing a much bigger, wider picture. And as you expand it out, you start noticing the freedom the outside world offers you. What is the bigger picture? What is the broader perspective? What happens when you forgive, when you let go? And just see how much more of your life are you able to access just by doing this. Just like this, from this, you are able to access so much more. Similarly, when you come out of that hole in your mind, how much more of life is available for you? From that small little peephole, coming out of that, how much more am I able to see? How much more are you able to recognize all the offerings that life has for you? Would you like to continue to have this? Or do you want to go back to your small little hole? Would you like to continue to have the expansiveness? Yeah? Yeah. So this is only the beginning of a journey to know that I can forgive. And when I forgive, I get freedom. and also to know that responsibility and ownership come together, that ownership and responsibility need to be used together, and that a lot of our unforgiveness comes from not having those two aspects together. Usually we don't think of that angle. So that's what I wanted to bring out today. And it's a very short session, so there's not too much that we can do. So in this limited time, the purpose was that you at least get exposed to something and see the difference. Even with something in a period like 20 minutes to half an hour, you can feel a shift, some small shift or some large shift. I don't know, whatever has happened for you. But do you all feel a shift? Something is lighter. Yeah, something has changed. How you feel about something or think about something is different. So, and that might be something that you've been stuck with for a long time, or you may have continued to stay stuck with for a long time. And with just a short, simple exercises, you're able to bring in the shift. So if you really do consistent work, how much more can you do? I'm going to just play you a song for a very, like for a minute or so, and then I'll come back and we'll wrap up. Okay, so I'm going to play a song on forgiveness.
I forgive, I let go, I wholly forgive. I forgive, I let go, I wholly forgive.
I forgive myself, I do forgive my family, my friends, I forgive. I forgive myself, I do forgive my family, my friends, I forgive.
I forgive, I let go, I wholly forgive. I forgive, I let go, I wholly forgive.
We have this song on our YouTube channel. You're free to listen to it anytime. In fact, I would suggest that you listen to it every day. It's a beautiful song. It runs for about 10 to 12 minutes. And like I said, what we did today is an entry into forgiveness work. And if you're already doing forgiveness, this is another perspective. It's not a complete journey. And we have several masterclasses on our YouTube channel, which you could access. It's all available there. There are 1-hour sessions and different things that are there on forgiveness and other things. And just a little bit about why forgiveness for me. I think forgiveness was a very important part of my life right from the beginning. And later on, when I started working with clients and everything, I found that when people forgave, automatically they were healing much faster. And it wasn't even that we directly worked on forgiveness or anything. We would do something and they would feel some kind of forgiveness happening. And I began to find that there was a correlation between their healing and forgiveness work. And then I, made it into a workshop, and then the workshop itself evolved It became from 3 hours to 1 day to 2 days to 3 days. And now we're having the training in a couple of in November. Again, from the workshops over the last many years, I think almost 20 years, I don't know. I've been running the forgiveness workshops, and each time people come back talking about the huge changes they've had. So it's for me, the forgiveness work is like bringing peace and harmony, freedom, all this into the world around. So there is peace for an individual, and then he goes home, there's change in the family, there's peace in the family, peace in the community. And when people come back and share all this, it is so fulfilling. It is amazing each time. And that's why now I'm also having the training, because I'm not sure how long I'm going to continue working, but I thought if we have the training, then others will continue to run the workshop. Yeah, so because it's amazing to have freedom in our lives, and that freedom, the easiest way to access that freedom is through forgiveness. Yeah. And I think with that, I come to an end. This comes to an end, but if you have any questions or you want to share anything, I think we are just on time, 9:15. So if anybody wants to, if you want to leave, you can leave. If you want to stay back, you can stay back, and we can answer questions. And if Nandini, you have any announcements or anything, you can. If you want to share anything, you can.
So I
Thank you,
have
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So we will be sending, some of you are asking for the YouTube links. We'll be sending a message after this with the YouTube channel link, the link to the song, everything, as well as the information about the upcoming workshop. So this year, Dr. Sampoorna is doing her Forgiveness Path to Freedom workshop. It's a 3.5 day workshop, which is literally something that I believe everyone should experience at least once in their lifetime. As everyone who has ever experienced it, that's what they say, right? So this workshop, she's doing it twice this year, in both our next month in August, from 14th to 17th, it's happening in our Chennai center, and from 22nd to 25th, it's happening in Hyderabad. So anyone, if see if you can make it, because it's really worth it, and we'll send the information to you on the chat, on the WhatsApp chat. And the forgiveness training, she's actually doing it, I think, after all of us eating her head for so long, she's finally running the training for the first time this year for the Forgiveness Path to Freedom workshop. And there's a really comprehensive kind of training program. It's starting on November 1st. And the prerequisite for that, if you are interested in being a part of, helping other people heal and spread this very, very essential healing across the planet, if you want to do that, you can join it. But the prerequisite for that is that you should have done the Forgiveness Path to Freedom workshop at least once in the last 3 years. So anyway, I'll send all of the information. And now, if anyone wants to, if you have any questions, if you want to share, the floor is open.
मैम, आपको देख के बहुत खुशी हुई. मैं हमेशा आपको फेसबुक पे, यूट्यूब पे देखती हूँ. ऐसे सामने आपकी एक अलग वाइब आ रही है.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love you.
Happy to see you. Everybody is silent.
So I have a question.
No.
The
I'm
training,
sorry.
yeah, the training you mentioned, which is starting from 1st of November, how long is this training going to be? For how many days?
It is a hybrid program. So 1st of November, we start with the WhatsApp work and the online kind of work. And 22nd of November to the 30th is the in-person residential in Tiruvannamalai. And the entire program will be about 4 to 6 months because there's a lot of hand holding. So it's when I say entire program, it's not like it's because we want to make sure that you have enough support the first few months.
So it's part of the Heal Your Life program only?
No, it has not. It's not part of the Heal Your Life. It is a completely different program. My background is that I've done my PhD in the area of forgiveness in psychology. And it's so my research itself is forgiveness with the workshop as the intervention program. So that's where it comes from. Yeah, Soumya has her hand up.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. So honored to have attended your workshop. And like you said, when you taught us the exercise, I was able to forgive a part of me, which I think I did not even know that forgiveness was needed. So my question is, now this exercise which you have taught us today, can we meditate and do that for many other episodes in our life where we are holding on to things?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome. Anyone else? Anything? Nice to see known people and new people.
With this little exercise, I'm feeling so relaxed and peaceful that as if a big burden has come out, a big thing has come out, I can't explain. I'm feeling so relaxed, filled with, with love.
Nice. Beautiful. Whenever you can, you come for the forgiveness workshop because we have it every year for Republic Day and Independence Day. Freedom.
So, Sampoorna, thank you very much.
Welcome.
I could see you after many years again. And as usual, मुझे पता नहीं क्यों feeling आती है अच्छा सा देखने में आपको. Thank you.
Thank you, Bridge.
Thank you,
He
Dr.
also
Sampoorna.
added on the chat. Sorry. He also added on the chat that you're going to be helping everyone for a lot of years to come.
Yeah, somebody was saying something.
Yeah, this is Dr. Pallavi Chorodia from Mumbai. Thank you very much for this workshop, Dr. Sampoorna.
Welcome.
Do you plan anything for North people also? Do you come to this area? I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan.
Jaipur. I've come to Jaipur to attend the Vipassana program. I haven't come there and done any workshops.
That's beautiful. Any upcoming plans for Jaipur or anywhere around North?
See, generally we go where if where somebody is organizing something, because outside of Chennai, it becomes very difficult for us to actively organize, coordinate, and find a venue and all that. So we generally don't go out of town unless somebody is doing all that and inviting us. I have done in Delhi quite a few times, but not recently.
How you, this is Dr. Pallavi from Mumbai. How you know
Hmm.
that you are holding on to something?
See, if you're not feeling free, if you feel you're stuck in any way, any area, if you're feeling something is not going as you want it to go, you're putting in the effort, but it's not happening, you're trying to change something, it's not working, then you know that there is some stuck thing there, that you're holding on to something. So generally, if I'm working on myself, I don't bother to even find out what it is. Something is not okay, something is feeling off, I'll just do something with it. I don't, if I know what it is, fine. If I don't know what it is, it doesn't matter. If things are not moving in the direction that I want, then that means there is some forgiveness work to do.
In any field?
Yeah. Whether it's health, whether it's relationships, whether it's career, whether it's finances, whether it's just peace of mind, whatever it is, if something is not as you want it to be, what is there to forgive? I'll just give you one small example of what happened. I had a frozen shoulder, and it was there for about quite a few months. It was not like 1 or 2 months. It was there for quite a few months. And I was doing everything possible for that thing, like, physically, whatever I needed to do. I was doing affirmations. I was doing so many different things. Whatever I could think of, I was doing, but that it didn't go. No, and not only then if I felt maybe I'm just focusing too much on this, let me just stop it. And if I don't do for 2 days, if I don't do that 5 times a day, some exercises and stuff, I could only go, this far. And if I didn't do it, it wouldn't even go that much. It would go much lower. So I had to keep doing it. It was getting really bad. So every day I used to do a whole lot of affirmations when I was walking on the terrace. And so one day I thought, instead of just doing these affirmations like this, let me uh, make them into songs. Not that I knew anything about music. Let me make them into songs. So it'll be nice to just play the songs and sing along with it. And so we went and met a music director, started the songs. And the first song that I gave was the Forgive song. Just by chance, it was just that song was written and the lyrics were there, and I gave it to him and he made the song. That whole day, while the recording was being done, we started at about 12 o'clock. The recording started at about 12 and it went on till 12 in the night. So it was 12 hours of listening to the same words being repeated over and over again. And once the song was done, then the background music. So all together, it took us about 12 hours of listening to those lyrics. Went back home. I went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and this thing was perfectly fine. That whatever frozen shoulder was there, it was all unfrozen and it was fine. I didn't know there was something to forgive. I didn't know there was some issue. It was not like I was aware and I was trying to work on it. Just listening to those words itself allowed something to go out of my system. I still don't know how that happened, because the night I go to sleep with that same thing which I've had for months. Morning I wake up, nothing is there. And I said, what happened? And I'm trying to get it back. Nothing happened. So it's really amazing. So we don't know sometimes we don't know what it is about.
It's very true. I'm struggling with weight, and the same thing, I'm doing everything what I can do since years. And that's why I feel there must be some block somewhere. That's why I was trying to get connected with you.
Yeah.
And see you talk the same thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. The song was the same song. What we
Yeah, I'm
played.
definitely going to listen to it again and again. Let's hope something happens.
Yeah. And create safety also for yourself. weight is usually linked to safety. So also
Okay.
do something on safety.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I feel because now I'm feeling more safe. My weight has also started reducing.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the connection. I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we can close now, and we hope to see all of you again soon. And we hope to connect with you in person, online, wherever. So see you all. And we'll send you the links for the song, all of it. So you look at the message. There will also be sending one of Sampoorna ma'am's other YouTube masterclass. So there's a lot of things there, so you can check it out. And please do subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you know as and when we put things up. And if you haven't already, please save our number from which you receive the messages, because that's our center number. And if you save that, then you'll know about other events as they come up.
Also,
Thank
it'll be
you.
nice if you give us a nice Google review.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll
We'll
send the
send you
link
the
for
link
that as
for
well.
that also. So seeing faces that we know only by name, no?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see you all. Good night. Sleep well.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.